Let's go to Iowa. Nick in Iowa. What's going on, Nick? How are you?
Hey, Jimmy, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Hey, so listen, went to Vegas last week, first time ever, and we went to the Iowa State UNLV game. As we're making our migration to the Death Star, on the way, we needed a little grub. And I kept saying all week, listen, Rome loves Javier's, talks about it all the time. We tried booking Friday, they're booked. Try booking Saturday, booked. So I go to my buddy, hey, listen, let's stop in, see if we can get in. We roll up to the hostess stand, and I'm in my Cyclone tanker and a pair of jorts, holding a Natty Light. She said, hey, we're full. I said, hey, listen, Jim Rome sent me. Suddenly, a table of four opens up.
Come on, dude.
Believe it.
Come on,
Could
man.
not believe it.
Come on, man.
I had a hot
dude, that's not
margarita.
true. Come on, Nick, you're making that up, man. I know that's not true.
No, true story. Had the Javi margarita, chicken fajitas. Let me tell you, salsa, game changer. So we make it to the Death Star, which had 35,000 fans there. Said that it was the seventh largest fan base they've had in a UNLV game. About 28 to 30 of them were Cyclones. 1,000. So anyway, met a guy there. He was running the cameras above the field. And he said he worked for CBS. I said, hey, you know Jim Rome? He goes, yeah, I know Jim Rome. Met him one time, met a few of the XR4TI guys as well. So anyway, great time. And I was hoping next time we go, I don't get stood up by Cal in Vegas in the airport, because I was really waiting for him to rip my beard off and make me eat it. But anyway, thanks for the Jungle Karma. Let's go Clones. And can't wait to get back out to Vegas next time.
My man, you got it, Nick. Thank you very much. I don't know if any of that's true. I hope so. That's funny. I mean, even I don't get that kind of run. The funny thing about Javier's is this. It is literally my favorite restaurant at this point in time in my life. And by the way, it has been for quite some time. Before I moved down to the 949, I didn't know about Javier. Javier is an unbelievable restaurateur, an unbelievable entrepreneur. Javier is a brilliant guy. Like I've said this a million times. When I meet or when I see Javier, which is not very often because Javier is running an empire and he's got a family and he's got like incredible employees. He's got brilliant people that work for him. So it's very rare. Javier's a unicorn. He's a unicorn. It's very rare to get an actual Javier sighting. If in fact you're lucky enough to see Javier, and it's not like he's trying to hide or not come around. He's a family man. He's a businessman. He's just not easy to see. But if you see him, it's like you're in the presence of a celebrity. I can't tell you, like, I can only count on one hand the number of people that I get that same kind of vibe or that same kind of energy or that same kind of reaction to when I see Javier. Like, it reminds me of a time that I saw Robert De Niro in a restaurant in Beverly Hills, except not as good. Javier is even better than Bobby De Niro. He's just so awesome, and the restaurant is so great. And like I said, at some point somebody's going to come to me, and I've been talking about that restaurant for the better part of 15 years. You know, not to name drop you, but that's where Kobe Bryant and I would meet. Kobe, back in the day, would just kind of very mysteriously, a few times a year, hit me up midweek, generally out of season, because, you know, the Mamba was all about it during the season. Just like out of the blue, midweek, and text something along the lines of, yo, fam, Javies? And it would be very short, like, yo, fam, Javies, question mark. And I literally, although I wouldn't drop everything for Robert Plant, I did for Kobe. And that's where we would go. And Kobe loved Javier's. And by the way, all visiting teams that come to SoCal to play the Angels et al. Go to Javier's. It's an amazing place. It's like a cross between the best Mexican food and a nightclub that you could ever see. It's like, I want to say it's so OC, but Javier, and again, I get nothing out of this. I'm not an investor. I'm a partner. I don't do this because I want the table. Believe me, I'm always really, really sheepish about even calling or texting. In fact, I don't. We just show up. And the truth of the matter is, when I do show up, sometimes you'll have a young hostess, and there's always a line, always. And she has no idea who I am. And I'll be like, hi, can we get a table for us? She's like, yeah, in an hour. And then somebody will come over and like, hello, Vance Mac. What I'm saying is, one of these days, for the first time in 15 years, somebody's going to roll up on me and say, hey, Rome, it's just not all that, man. It's not. But the next time that happens will be the first time that happens, because it is all that. The food is that good. The real estate is that good. And you know what that is more than anything else? It's a freaking experience. I'll give you an example. Where do you think that idiot sent me a Pina Colada and said that it was from Marty? Javier's. That happened at Javier's. Somebody sent a Pina Colada to me. I'll give you another one. Nameless engineer, have this ready. Where do you think I saw Andy Reid? Freaking Javier's. I saw Andy Reid in the Newport Coast at Javier's.
I love the place. I mean, I love it. And you said it. You always see people in there that you don't expect to see. I was as excited to see you as you were me. So, I mean, we haven't talked in a long time. And we used to talk all the time, and for no reason other than I moved back to Kansas City here, and it was kind of a new start. But it was great to see you, and your family's phenomenal. I mean, you had a load there now. People don't realize that table, that was a long table you had. You have a beautiful wife in Janet. Your son, he was beaming, man, 17 years old. It doesn't get any better. Living in California, eating at Javier's, 17-year birthday, and I mean, come on. How much better does it get?
Let me tell you something, Coach. Nothing is better than that soundbite. You believe it? Andy Reid lying to my face and saying that he was happier to see me than I was him? Such a lie. Nobody's ever been happier for anything than I was to see Andy Reid that night at Javier's. How about him name-checking Janet? He remembered Janet. And talking about my, quote, 17-year-old beaming. We were there for Jake's birthday. I'm telling you, man, magic happens at Javier's. Bob Costas has a house out here. Bob Costas on a podcast. And by the way, how cool is Javier's? Bob Costas lives near it. He said, Romy, how about you and I meet at Javier's? Haven't done that yet. Robert Plant can't believe that I haven't taken up Bob Costas on that. Damn, Romy, you spent a lot of time talking about Javier's. Right, because I freaking love the place. So go in there and tell him I sent you. I get nothing out of that. I just love the place. I love the guy. I love the food. I love the place. And they're everywhere now, man. Irvine, Newport, Los Angeles, Vegas, Mexico. My man's running an empire. When I met him, he had one little restaurant in Laguna. All right. Hey, Nick. Good story, brah. Hey, Nick, I got a question for you. You said you showed up in your Cyclone tank with a natty light and you couldn't get in. And you said, hey, man, Jim Rome said to send me. And they're, oh, why didn't you say so, sir? And they took you right. Did they take you to a booth also, I would imagine? Let me ask you something, dude. Really good story. I'm not saying that you made that up, but when you went to your hotel and dropped my name, did they comp you there too? Nick. Nick's like, then I went to the Death Star and I saw a guy working for CBS. He's like, oh yeah, I know Rome. Come on, bro. I am Rome. These doors don't swing open for me. Why are they swinging open for you? Anyway, Nick, I hope it's true. I just know it's not.